Hi, everyone. Hello. How is everybody? Okay, let me say hi. Let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Darren, Fire Butterfly, Carla Girl, Kathleen, Eliz, Beth Davidson, Amy, Vi Hart, Phaedra, Robin, MJD, Angel Star, Leah. One second. Let me check if I've got everything. Okay. Okay. Um, Carol, Debbie, Leah, Tickle World, JJ, Beth, Lindsay, Marie, Rachel, Reg, Cindy, Lily, Lucy in the Sky, Cece, Bang Luna. Hi, Bang Luna. Darren, Beth, okay. Ako 613, Bora Winkle, Salmart, Rebecca, Sylvia, Julie, Heidi, Darlene, Consuelo, Breline, Namhar, Catherine, Halina, Dodger Girl, Lindsay, Han, EG, Red Wings, Seda, Tera, Rhea, Lakeisha, Estefi, Michelle, OSP, Jane, Clara, from Cali with Love, Team, Messi, Booney, Mycel, Hoan, Personal Space on Twitch, Christine, Didi, Jimin. I love Jimin. Oh, you're on X. Dodger Girl, Lucy in the Sky, Starshine, Negma, Brisa, Monica, Orchid MC. Okay. All right, Jimin. He's not here. He's serving. I'm sorry. Okay, I think I need to go live on Instagram. Okay. This is the strange thing about Instagram, like you can't set it up once. I need to set it up once I am already live. Okay. Um right. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll try to do it as quick as I could. Okay, and then I go here, I click that. Oh, I'm supposed to go live. Oh no. Okay, edit. Okay. How is everybody? Are you all good? Jimin. I'm gonna assume that she's Jimin bias. Not so, just a wild guess. Okay. All right. It's trying to connect to streaming. So I don't think I'm live on IG yet, but I hope that I'll be live very soon. How is everyone? Her jacket and so my TMI is that I shampooed last night. I don't shampoo every day, but I shampooed last night. You are all okay? Okay. I think IG is so hopeless. Okay. All right, let's just start. If it doesn't want to go, then it doesn't want to go. OT reunion, OT7 reunion next month. Yes. So we have 37 days left. No, 47 days left with Yoongi, with Suga, and then and then 37 for the others. Monday is over. Doing great. My hair is that long but curlier. Marie, you got gin tickets? Good. Okay, first announcement. We still have some tickets for Dallas for the suite. I think we have four more available tickets. So if anyone wants to join the team in the suite, just let me know. It is 550 per head. No food. No food. Everything went up. Even our suite in New Jersey went up. So for Hobie, it was 385. That doubled for gin. I think people kind of realized just how in demand BTS is, and so they doubled everything or tripled everything. I wonder where my dog is. Okay. So, yeah, no lights in Cuba. You're in Cuba? I want to visit Cuba. Monimu, is it safe? I'm going to Dallas to see Jin. Miss Kim, are you going to join the Hi Belize? Oh, personal space. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so they are. So if you want to join the team in the suite, please let me know. We still have four more tickets available for the suite in Dallas. Is it day one or day two? For New Jersey, we're all sold out. Although I think we can still, so we have like 21 people, I think, and so we can accommodate 24. But it's okay, even if we don't get the three more. I would love to go to Cuba too. Me too. Okay, so let's get started with our agenda. Do you have questions before I start? Just for those that want to join Dallas, let me know. And the ticket is day one in Dallas. Day one in Dallas. That's the ticket. Okay, so let me know if you want to join. And then there's not a lot of tickets available, I don't think. There's just someone is selling their floor tickets to New Jersey for day two as well. Um, any tips for getting Japan tickets to see Jin? I have plans to go. You need somebody who lives in Japan because um they won't sell it to you. You can only pay you can only pay through the convenience stores in Japan. You have to physically walk in to pay. So you have to know somebody there to buy the tickets for you. This is the first time I'm posting. I'm usually a silent one. Hi, Lisa. You're welcome to post anytime. Okay, let's start. I'm sure that you have heard about this huge issue with J-Hope. But before that, I just want to let everybody realize that these are their ages by the time that they get discharged by the military, from the military. So Jungkook is 28. Well, he is going to turn 28. So he was born 97. And then V and Jimin are 95 line. They were both born 1995. So they'll be 30. One will be 30. Jimin will be, yes, international age. So Jimin will be 30 October, and then September will be Jungkook will be 28 September, and then V will be 30 December. Suga will be 32. Oh, he's already 32. And then J-Hope is already 31. Jin is going to be 33 December. So that will be their ages. Yes, Jungkook is still under 30, but definitely way older than 15 when we first met him. So how about that? Marrying age, huh? Yeah, I just saw this on Twitter. This I did not do this. I just saw this on Twitter. And I just thought it was fun to show it to you guys because it's such a just recalling the first time that I saw them perform, right around the time I moved to the US. It's kind of brings me back to that time when I was new in the US. And I was just asking myself, like, had I known everything that I was going to go through, would I have pursued migrating in the US? It's just a wild thought. But yeah, it's 28. Our youngest is 28. Okay, did Monimo actually answer about Cuba? I really do want to visit. Someone was telling me that I should visit now while things are still sort of preserved. It's not yet that westernized. So I want to visit that. I do want to visit Russia as well because it seems to be very beautiful. The architecture is very beautiful. I wonder if JK will need to get his lip re-pierced. I don't think so. I don't think it will close. I'm the same age as Jin, 33. Hi all. You're old enough to be their mom. Okay. All right. So as you know, there was this incident about allegedly this girl grabbing J-Hope in the concert. And the issue started when videos online got published about showing J Hope trying to break free from the grip of somebody, and they wouldn't let him go. As you know, that's a no no in Boraland. We have, through the years, established that we should give them their space. And this is not an exemption. Even when they are performing or doing whatever it is that they are supposed to do in public or in private, we should give them their space. Many armies have actually gone out of their way to get out of their sight when they see BTS members roaming around taking a vacation just because they don't want to stare and they want to give the boys the privacy. And even in a concert, you're supposed to leave them, like not touch them. So there was a huge backlash when this video came out because it appeared that the woman, specifically this woman, was he grabbed, not grab, yeah, I guess grabbed is a term, and she wouldn't let go when J Hope was actually trying to break free from her grip. Okay, I saw a video. I'm going to show it to you. Give me 1 second. This is a zoom out video. You can see J Hope here. You can actually clearly see him trying to break free from the grip, but you won't be able to see who it was that was actually holding him. Okay, let's play this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Ya Allah. Jangan, no! No! Jangan ditarik! Jangan ditahan! Jangan! No! No! Jangan ditahan! Jangan ditahan, cuy.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so after that, he managed to actually break free from the grip and go to the stage and start performing. So just during clarification, I've watched several videos and it's very, very hard to determine who it was that was actually latching onto him. It cannot be just one person. So if it was her, it cannot be just her because there were several hands that were on his wrist. And uh and there were several people on either side of that woman that could have been holding on to J Hope. I'm not saying it's not her. I'm just saying that it is very hard to be sure that it was her. And if it was her, it's pretty clear that there were more than one hand that was holding, latching onto J Hope. So I just wanted to be fair to her because I know how it feels for the whole world to actually hate you and criticize you and gang up on you. Okay. All right. So again, I'm not saying it wasn't her. I'm just saying if it was her, it can't just be her. That's second. That's first. And second, it is not clear at all if it was her. Um, okay. So 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 that is the point. Now, that's my first point. Now, I know that she issued an apology. Okay, and this is her apology translated into English. I think her original apology was actually in Chinese, Mandarin, I think. I'm not sure. But this was translated into English. And so she said, I apologize to everyone. I deleted the post because I realized that at the time of my comment, I hadn't fully understood the issue at hand and wasn't very clear in my explanation. First and foremost, I am deeply sorry. This is her second apology letter. I am deeply sorry for the negative impact I have caused, and I truly apologize. Additionally, my Twitter account has been banned, and so I've asked other armies to help post my apology on Twitter. This matter has absolutely nothing to do with the Chinese armies. It was entirely my own behavior issue. This incident was caused by my overexcitement and irrational state of mind. I didn't realize at the time that I subconsciously made such an inappropriate move. I am truly, truly sorry, especially to Hobie, as it was really unfair to him. Love should be premised on greater respect. Upon watching the video, I have deeply reflected and am genuinely very sorry for undermining the core of equality and for my immature thought that hurt everyone's feelings. I apologize once again to everyone and to Hobie. Please, everyone, have early rest. I am truly sorry and thank you for your understanding. So she apologized. Okay, now she admitted, she said it after reviewing the video. Just wanted to make it clear that I'm not defending her. I don't know her. I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly the whole thing that happened. But I am pretty sure there was more than one hand latching on to Hobie. You can clearly see it in the different videos. There was more than one hand. It wasn't just hers. Okay, so that being said, that's clear. More than one hand, not just hers. That being said, she admitted, fine. Maybe it's her. She apologized, and so okay, let's move on. She already apologized. Okay, so now the next question is: should we forgive such a behavior? Should we let it pass? Should we let it rest? The truth is that forgiveness is not mine to give. I wasn't the one that was put in that situation. It was Hobie. And unfortunately, I do not have that kind of mindset, I guess, to call it, to try and be above this and be a moral police, right? So, um, so it's not mine to. I don't have to forgive her because I wasn't the one who she offended and who she or who they harassed. I think I will stand by the fact that there was more than one hand latching onto Hobie. It was very clear in the many videos that were published. There were more than one hand latching onto him. So I will say they. Okay, the forgiveness is not mine to give. Okay. Um, the other thing is that there is this favorite quote that I got from the movie Priest. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Regardless of your religion, it is a good watch. It's a good movie just because of the complex messages in the movie. But the priest in this movie said that people, it wasn't actually him, it was the higher priest that told him people always have more right to receive it than we have to give it, right? So people are always more deserving of forgiveness than we are more deserving of being the one to forgive. So I've always stood by that. And I think that's why I find it easy, not easy, but easier than others to forgive, because I've come to realize that people will always have more right to receive forgiveness than I have to give it. But then, as I've said in the beginning, forgiveness is not mine to give in this situation. It was J Hope was put in that situation. Only he can forgive. However, forgiveness is very, very different from justice or fairness or from legal matters. And here's one difficult truth of the matter. If we reverse the situation, what if J Hope is the female in this situation and a male or several males grabbed her hand or wrist and refuses to let go, even after this is assuming that J Hope is a woman, um, even after she clearly wanted to pull away? What would we think that man would deserve? That is always my test. Reverse the situation. Put yourself or reverse the situation. And this is not just when a male or a man is being harassed. In any given situation, there are certain things that people will say, oh, that woman shouldn't be doing this. And my automatic thing is to think, okay, what if it was a guy who actually did it? Would I find it acceptable? If I reverse the role and my opinion or my point of view changes, then I know I am being sexist. And so in this situation, that's what I did. I reversed the situation. What if J Hope was the female in this situation and someone grabbed her and refuses to let go? And the truth is that I might forgive. If, for example, if that was me, I might forgive, but I would still want justice, because you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't violate anybody else's body, regardless of the gender, regardless of the race or age. You should respect people. If somebody wants you to let go, you let go. And you shouldn't hold on to somebody a millisecond to a millisecond longer than what is being allowed. So forgiveness is one, justice is another, right? Um, so my initial not my initial after thinking about it, that was what I guess bothered me, that people were quick to say, yeah, let it go, like, let's, no harm done, let it go, it's done, let's concentrate on the tour, and we should concentrate on the tour. And I agree that, as I've mentioned in the beginning, forgiveness is not mine to give. Not in this situation. Forgiveness is not mine to give. Second is that people always have more right to receive forgiveness than I have to give it. But don't I don't want to lose track of the fact that had this been reversed, had J Hope been a woman being grabbed by a man and the man refuses to let go, I guarantee you people will be reacting differently. I will be reacting differently. So I don't want to lose track of that, because in all this talk about being fair, by that we should uphold, that we should respect people's body and people's privacy and people's space and people's wants, that should go both ways, male and female. Now, clearly J Hope made a choice. He's a professional. He had a concert to finish. There is this one, two, three women that were not behaving properly. But he felt that is not enough to stop the concert, because he knew there are thousands of people in there, in that stadium or arena, that paid money probably money that they saved for years just to see him, and he thought, I can handle this. I'm going to continue the concert and finish this show for them. So that's the choice that he made, and we should respect that. However, it does not change the fact that our reaction would have been different had J Hope been a woman. And I guarantee you that it would have been so different. The reaction online, what officials will be doing, it would have been so different had this been a woman. And it shouldn't be different just because J Hope is a man. Let's not lose track of that. I am not saying let's prosecute, let's castigate this woman. I have already premised from the beginning. I personally am not even sure if it was her who first grabbed Hobie. I am pretty sure there was somebody else, at least one more, probably two others who grabbed Hobie and never apologized and actually got away with it. Okay, so I guess what I am just trying to say is let's put ourselves in check. In this situation, my suggestion is try to reverse it. What if J Hope was a woman? We would have reacted differently. Now, it's this situation is a little easier because J-Hope had guards, he had bodyguards, he had people there. We actually saw from this angle that the cameraman himself and the assistant of the cameraman was actually trying to pull the woman away. They're trying to get trying to get J-Hope away from the fans. So he had some sort of protection, but not everyone has that kind of protection. Okay. So the bottom line is what those women did is harassment, and that is a criminal act because you do not latch on to somebody who wants you to let go, not a millisecond too long. Once somebody says or gives any kind of sign that he wants you to let go, you freaking let go. A millisecond too long is unacceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable for a man. It shouldn't be acceptable for a woman or any gender that you prefer to be assigned to. Okay. All right. The other thing is in her apology, and a lot of people that were going online, they were talking about, oh, she just spoiled it for everybody else. Like it's for now they wouldn't want to be closer to armies. But I don't think that's even the point. It's not about us in this situation. It's about the person who was violated in this situation. It is J Hope. It's about him. He was inconvenienced. He was harassed. His personal space was violated, and someone did something to him he did not consent to. And it was very clear he didn't consent to it because he was trying to pull away. That is not consent. So you shouldn't touch anybody that is trying to pull away. The minute somebody tells you to pull away, to let go, you let go. Right at that second. No compromise. Okay. If J Hope, again, this is my point. If J Hope was a female artist, everyone and their dog will call for a legal action. That is just the truth. If this was Le Seraphim or New Jeans or Isle It or Blackpink, somebody grabbed them, everyone will call for a legal action. However, as I've mentioned in the beginning, it was J Hope who made the choice, and his choice is to move on. He wanted to go through with the concert. He finished the concert, and it was a fantastic concert. So we should respect that. I also do not advocate for bullying or harassing anybody else, but I think it is important for those women to know what they did. They harassed J Hope. That's what they did. Full stop. No excuses. No, I got away. I was carried away because I was so excited. Nothing of that sort. That's not an excuse that we will accept from a man. That is also not an excuse that we should accept from a woman. However, as I've said, J Hope made a choice. He made the decision. Forgiveness is not ours to give. So, but we should, she should know, they should know, and we should know that that action is criminal. And that is just, that's it. That's my point of view. Now, I don't want that one small incident, or that one incident, not small, but that one incident to overshadow the entire tour. It has been great. And this is J Hope's moment, and we should allow him to have nothing but great memories. So if they are going to take legal action, that is going to be J Hope's choice. We are not going to dictate that. And if he chose to let go right at that moment and just forget about it, then we should respect that. But let us not forget that what they did is criminal, and they should know that too. Please make it clear. Okay, please make it clear that the hand scratch was a different. I think that was clear, that the scratch. But that's another thing. If you're going to go to a concert and you plan to go to a barricade with a very very good chance of your hand getting touched or whatever, make sure you cut your nails because now you know it's actually really dangerous. My mom has really sharp nails, and I always am a constant victim of it, so I know how painful it could be. um I'm he's a big boy, he can handle it, but that is not an excuse. Again, you should respect other people. No one should bully her because she did apologize. We do not work for Big Hit. They have bodyguards. We shouldn't stop stoop low and bully. There is enough trouble in the world as it is. I agree with half you said, with half of the things that you said. I agree that we shouldn't bully her. And Big Hit, J Hope is the one who should decide. And I think he made the decision, or at least it appears like we should make that he already made the decision. However, and we shouldn't bully anybody. However, I don't think we should let it go just because there are problems in the world. Harassment is a huge problem in the world. And in fact, that's one of those problems that we can actually affect, especially if the victim is someone that we know, right? So it's not like, oh, just let go, it's a minor thing. That's where it starts, right? That's where it starts, like a small touch here, a a small gesture here, standing a little too close, and like just let go, nothing happened, no harm done. I think we should respect everybody's space. Again, my stance has always been, you do not touch anybody a millisecond longer than what they allowed you to. Consent, right? So the moment they try to pull away, that's not consent. They are already not consenting. So people are going to say, oh, it's just a hand. It's just like they were shaking their hand. That's where it starts. And it's not doesn't matter if it's your ear, doesn't matter if it's your feet or your, doesn't matter what it is, what part of your, but that's your body. You have the right to tell people what you want to do with, excuse me, what you want to do with it, or what you don't want done to it. So, and the same thing, that is J Hope's body. So we should respect it. But again, he made the decision. And again, forgive. I'm just repeating everything what I said. Forgiveness is not ours to give. And it seems that J Hope has already made the decision. So we should respect that decision. But let's be aware that actions like that, for in the future, let's be aware that actions like that is criminal. That is harassment. And I hope that they, because I do not believe she's alone, if it was ever her, I do not think she's alone. That those women that did it, they should know that what they did is criminal, and they should fully realize that they harassed Toby. There you go. That is where I stand in it. I was thinking of not talking about it the same way I didn't talk about Jin, the incident with Jin, but just um, I just don't agree with I don't like it. I don't like people violating people's bodies in any way, shape, or form. Minor, major, doesn't matter. Your body, your choice, right? And that includes touching, or who gets to touch it and who doesn't get to touch it. Okay. Even just violating other people's personal space should not be tolerated because those small things is where it starts. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. Um, but yes, someone said don't harass, just report. Yeah, just don't harass. I mean, That is the one thing I won't ever condone either, harassing somebody, especially after I don't know if it's a sincere apology. It sounded like a chat GPT. Okay, so the first time I read it in English and I was like, this is chat GPT. I was very sure that it was chat GPT. I was told that the original apology was actually in Chinese, and they probably asked chat GPT to translate it. That's why it sounded like chat GPT. So there you go. There is a difference between telling it's dangerous and inappropriate behavior and bullying. There is a very, very big difference, correct? That's why I said, I hope they should know. They should know that what they did was harassment and that's criminal. They should know that. And we should know so that we know not to do it. And we also know what to do when someone is doing it to us. But we shouldn't harass her. Okay. She should face consequences, even legal consequences. That's what the situation calls for. But she shouldn't have the rest of of her life ruined. Yes, correct. And it's all up to Big. It's all up to J Hope, and we know that whatever J Hope wants, Big Hit will follow through. So it's going to be his decision. Whatever his decision has to be respected. I will absolutely not blame him or even doubt. It's he's in the middle of a tour, almost not sorry, not in the middle, but he's on the last leg of his tour. I'm sure he wants to finish it big, and he already mentioned that he has a lot more projects that are lined up. So I'm sure that he's very, very focused on that and doesn't want to get distracted. So if he chooses to let it go, I perfectly understand. But again, we should know that what she did is harassment, or what they did is harassment, and they should know as well. But we all shouldn't pile on. I think she's been scolded enough. They should be scolded. Again, I don't think she's alone. So in that regard, I think it's unfair that only her is getting photographed and getting mentioned. I do not think it's only her. There were several hands for sure that were latching on to J Hope. It is she shouldn't her entire life shouldn't be ruined. And again, it's not ours. Forgiveness is not mine to give. Justice is not mine to serve either, right? So okay, she looked like an adult. She should know better. I also understand this point of view. As I've mentioned, just emphasizing what I said in the presentation, I also understand this point of view because, reverse the role. Just think of it. Think about it. Had that been your daughter, had J Hope been your daughter, and someone is trying refusing to let go of her arms, what would you have done? You would probably want that guy punched in the face at least 10 times, right? I know I would. I mean, I have a niece. She's not my biological daughter, but I have a niece I raised. If I see a man latching onto her wrist and refusing to let go, even after my niece clearly wants him to let go, I would not be able to tell you what I will do. So I also understand why people think this way. Because if you reverse the role, that's just how you're going to react. It's just that he's a guy. So people think like it's okay, it's a guy, which is not okay. Okay. Um I hope it is a teachable moment. Yes, I hope it's a teachable moment. It's more this kind of discussion, because this is will have no weight or effect on what J Hope is going to do. This kind of discussion is more for us so that we know not to do what she did, what they did, and so that we know what to do if someone does it to us. Where was the bodyguards? Where was Mr. Lee to push them off? I did not see Mr. Lee in that area, but there was another guard who was sort of going forward and going backwards and going forward and going backwards. So I think they were closely, in fairness to the security, I think they were closely watching. And I think had it been more than that, had it been worse than that, I definitely think they would have stepped in. But I think they kind of felt that J Hope had he could still control it. I think that's what they felt. So they weren't really going. They really weren't going in. So yeah, I just saw this video of someone sent me a video of, because of this, a friend of mine sent me a video of the daughter of the president, Ivanka Trump, and she was walking, and then the security was beside her. And then I think there was this guy who was trying to get close to Ivanka. And when the security shoved the guy shoved the security back. And so the guy, not softly, very, very violently pushed the other guy away. And I think that situation calls for that kind of reaction. Number one, that guy who was trying to come close to Ivanka was really, he was tall and he was big. So and the security was actually short. He's big, but he's very short. So I think that kind of reaction called for it. And I think had it escalated, I think the security would have stepped in. They didn't. But I think they felt like, okay, he still kind of get it. Just he still has it. So they let it go. And he was able to eventually shake himself away from it. If Hobie had wanted help, he would have turned to the security. Equal sign is J Hope's decision to go close to Army, so security was behind the camera. And I think it speaks a lot. It says a lot that he didn't post that picture. He would always post that moment in his shorts, in sorry, not shorts, but in his Instagram stories, right? Oh, he would not, it doesn't fail. Like after the show, he would post a picture of that moment because that's his moment with the fans. But this time he didn't. So I think that's a statement. That's a statement in itself. That's probably him saying, I do not approve of what you did. So that says something. But whatever his decision should be respected. Okay. Typically, or was that? BTS is typically very mature, and that's what I love. They handle controversies well. And it's usually the fandom that reacts with high emotions, but I'm not sure that's always the best response. Um, yeah, well, yes, that's true. It's always not the best response. It's just that this is actually a criminal act. A lot of criminal acts are actually committed against them, but this one is physical because he was there. Again, for me, when it comes to a person's body, I don't think anything is a minor thing. Whether it's your fingertip or your shoulder or your finger or your toe or whatever, anybody who violates that space, any part of your body, that's a major thing. And that's what they did. That's what happened, which I already said. So, but yes, I agree with you that a lot of times armies overreact. Okay. It's inappropriate for sure for us to share among ourselves that this was inappropriate, but attacking her, no. Let Hobie handle it, but we can use it to police ourselves and let other armies know it's not okay. Correct. When it happened to Pope Francis, he slapped her hand away. Fairlane, I think this type of behavior should have her banned for all events, at least if there is no legal action. I agree. I agree. I agree that she should be banned. But these are just us like expressing what we think should happen. At the end of the day, it's Hobie's decision. J Hope got bruised 2 times from sharp nails. I agree. I think Hobie not posting that moment spoke volumes. Yeah, I was pretty. That is actually the only reason I decided to check the videos, to look at different videos, because a friend of mine who is not an army told me that, oh, J Hope didn't post that moment on his stories, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he was more updated than I was, and he told me about the incident. I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out, because I thought if he has been consistently, and I know that because I constantly like his posts, if he has been consistently posting that moment and he didn't this time, that is an intentional thing, because we know that it's him who's actually posting stuff on his IG. Just wake. You don't feel up and down on his chest. What? Just waking up. Where did this happen with Hopi? KAG. It's been like 3 days of discussion. In his concert in Indonesia. So, that moment where he would go to the fans, shake their hands. There were several, I am pretty sure it's not just her, but several girls at the very least, um, who refused to let his wrist go. Okay. I always thought that there was an unspoken decorum followed by armies. Yes, there is. We always assume the worst. Now we know J Hope will not marry someone long. 100% love that he didn't give her extra attention. Yeah. But again, just want to emphasize, I am not sure if it is her. If it is her, she's not alone. It's just that the video is kind of like, I've seen several videos. Um, so it's just, it's just that is my conclusion. I'm not sure if it is her. If it was her, she wasn't alone. For sure. She wasn't alone. I am sure there were several hands on his wrist. Um MLB, there is, but there's 40 million, so a few bad apples does happen. I have short nails. I do have short nails as well. Actually, I don't ever do manicure because I always just cut it very, very short. Because I do a lot with my hands. So, I draw, I type, and there, my dog is here. I scratch his belly. So it's just that having long nails does not work with me. If Hobie kept doing it after an injury, then maybe he was aware but kept doing it. For him, it was worth meeting good fans. BTS member, keep short nail. Okay. Um, what do you want to discuss next? Do you want to do RM or my reflection on RM song, which was very, very hard for me to listen to, or Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun? Which one do you want? We should have like, they should have a function of like voting or something. If you know that you're the type to get carried away, can you at least trim your freaking nails before the show? Let's do RM and Tableau. Okay. This was very. Did you like the song? Did you like it? Like, after you heard it, did you immediately start listening to it? Scooter, RM, RM. RM. Okay, RM. Okay, more RM. So there is no Paul. That's what I was thinking. Like, they should put like a Paul function. Um, I want to know more because I know little about it. Scooter. Okay, I will talk about it. Let's do RM first. All right. So this is this song was very, very hard for me to listen to. And I was actually surprised when I first, why I reacted this way. I had this very, very strange reaction to this song. It actually took me a while to realize why. I felt, I don't know what to call it, like some form of detachment after I heard it. After I heard it the first time, I felt some form of detachment. And that is actually a first for an RM piece for me. He has never failed. Every song that he has written in the past, I immediately gravitate towards. He is such a master of words. He has a way with his thoughts and how to translate it and articulate it for me to consume, that it becomes so easy for me to latch on to his songs. And so when I felt so detached, actually it was more than detached. I actually did not want to listen to the song. And so knowing the quality of writing of RM and Tablo, and feeling that, I had to check myself if there is some sort of bias that's keeping me from getting connected to the song. It was such a puzzle to me why I was reacting that way. So, however, I just want to clarify that what I felt was detachment, definitely not the lack of appreciation for the literary brilliance that this song is. I simply didn't feel that it was something that I wanted to listen to. In fact, I wanted to avoid it. So, after the first or maybe two listens, I had to pause and really examine why I was reacting that way. Obviously, Tablo and RM are two of the finest songwriters, globally, actually, not just from Asia, but globally. They're very, very cerebral, but also very personal and very emotional. And that's just my thing. Okay, that's what I get attracted to. So I had to force myself to read the lyrics over and over again just to understand. um and I think probably it was on the 10th listen that something just clicked to me, or at least for me. um and I went back to what Tablo originally said about the song. I don't know if you've
Right. We wanted
heard
two things
him
with the
discuss
song.
this, but
One,
here he
we wanted
is.
to do something completely, starkly different from All Day. And two, we wanted to have elements in there that connect the both of our music worlds. We also discussed common threads between Tableau's music and RM's music, and we landed on the theme of rain. RM actually recorded the song right before his enlistment, so many of you may wonder why I held on to it for so long, why I didn't just drop it. When we were making the song, we were so into it that I didn't realize we were writing such personal lyrics. It was only after he left and I kept listening to it that I realized that it kind of feels like looking at pages out of our journals. And if it was just my journal, I would have no problem revealing it, but RM's journal is a different story. So to be honest, I didn't really know if it was okay to drop it. And I just held on to it and I sat with it for a long time. And then a few months.
Okay, so clearly, to him, the very reason he didn't want to release the song was that he felt it was way too personal, to be heard by other people. And I thought that was it. That was why I felt so uncomfortable listening to the song, because it felt like I was violating RM's and Tablo's privacy. And I'm very curious about people's lives, but I am not a snoop. I don't like knowing about people, things about people that they don't want other people to know about. So I just felt like, this is not me. Like, this is, I don't like violating other people's privacy. And I know it was kind of stupid to feel that way because they released the song. So obviously they're consenting. There's that word again. They're consenting that other people actually listen to it. But it did not. And to this moment, I still feel that. I feel like I shouldn't be listening to this story because it did feel like a page from someone else's diary. But okay, knowing that they consented, it made it just a tad bit easier for me to actually go through the lyrics. So I powered through, and these are my thoughts. Okay, so one, RM and Tablo are actually both gifted kids. Okay, RM is a genius, we know that, but Tablo is a genius as well. Daniel Lee, that is Tablo's real name, was actually a co-terminal student at Stanford University. I don't know if you know that. Meaning he pursued his bachelor's and his master's degree simultaneously in Stanford. So he earned his bachelor's degree in English literature, a common major for students studying writing and literature. And then he also earned his master's degree in creative writing, which focuses on writing fiction, poetry, and other forms of creative expression. And that gives you an idea on how he was actually trained to do this, how talented he really is. Now, as we know, Kim Namjoon or RM has an IQ of 145 and has proven his literary genius in all the songs that he has written. He has catapulted his group to global recognition through complex lyricism and adoption of psychological theories and classic literary pieces, adopting all of those into pop music. So there is no question that RM is a genius, and I do not need to expound on that. We already know that. Okay, so that's one commonality between the two. The other thing is that RM and Tablo were also both targeted. RM is still being targeted to this day. Okay, so Tablo's music, when he decided to become a rapper, and this was after he already earned his degree, master's and bachelor's from Stanford. He came back to Korea and told his parents that he wanted to be a rapper, much to the dismay of his parents. So, his music, though, because of his literary genius, had such a broad appeal that it actually began to attract fans outside of Korea. He launched a series of US tours in 2006. He played in Caesar's Palace, Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. And by March 2010, they actually became the first Korean group to reach number one in US iTunes hip hop sales chart, and they topped Jay Z, Kanye West, and Black Eyed Peas. So Korean hip hop was really soaring high, and they were a monumental contributor to that. In the summer of 2010, Korea was in the middle of this fake diploma scandal. It actually began 2007. The chief curator of one of the prominent museums in Korea, in Seoul, was discovered to have fabricated her Yale PhD. And initially, Yale actually confirmed that she got a degree, but later on they retracted it. So she was jailed for 18 months on forgery charges, and a nationwide hunt for offenders, for people who did the same thing, actually started. So prosecutors investigated at least 120 cases of fraud, diploma, and it included celebrities, politicians, even monks in South Korea. So in May 2010, a group of internet users created an online forum titled "We Request the Truth from Tablo." And in Korea, in Hangul, the acronym was Tajinyo. The group didn't buy Lee's story. So they were saying that he lied. They started actually referring to him as God Blow, because they claim that only God can accomplish what Tablo claims to have accomplished. So the members of this group were all anonymous, and they constantly attacked Tablo, and they use usernames like what becomes or SpongeBob. So to many people, to many Koreans, Tajinyo's questions were legitimate because they felt like this is kind of impossible. It's impossible for you to finish your master's and your bachelor's in 3.5 years. A bachelor's degree usually takes 4 years, especially if it is Stanford. And then a master's normally takes another 2 years. So for you to finish these two degrees in 3.5 years, you must be God. So initially, Tablo actually refused to respond to any kind of accusation, but he finally felt that his own career was getting affected, but more importantly, his family was getting harassed. So he just got married to a prominent actress at that time. They're still married, and so he felt like, okay, I need to stand up and defend myself. So he released his transcript. Okay, now you would think that after releasing the transcript, everyone would be happy, but the members of Tajinyo, that user group, that forum group, began to discredit the statements of Tablo. So they went back trying to piece, break apart everything that Tablo has claimed. And they actually said that there is another man named Daniel Lee who graduated from Stanford University. And so they're claiming that Tablo used the identity of this Daniel Lee. They argued that that um, they kind of have the same life. Tablo has the same life as this guy. Tablo is actually a Canadian citizen. So when he was a little kid, I think when he was 3 years old, he moved to Canada, and he became a Canadian citizen. And so the fact that he didn't have to serve the military was one more thing that they were using against him. They said that, oh, you gamed the system of South Korea. Okay, if you're interested in that story, in the full story of that, obviously he got over it, but not after a really long time. He had an argument with his agency, Woollim Entertainment, because they didn't fight for him. Initially, they were like dismissive about it. They were saying that we're not going to release any statement. A day after that, they said that, okay, we're going to actually defend him, but they didn't really do anything. A month after that, Tablo actually moved out of the agency. He eventually signed under YG Entertainment, which in my opinion was the worst part time of their career, but that's another story. Okay, so if you want, and also people, his like friends from Stanford also dropped him. They abandoned him. So anyway, if you want a full story, let me know. I am going to do a video on that if you want to know more. Okay, so that is a really, really dark time in the career of Tablo. And I do think to this day that it actually affected his career, the progress of his career. Okay, now, RM, I don't have to go into details as to the kind of harassment that he gets to this day. Together with his bandmates, they have been used, abused, and misused in people's political interests, in anybody's interest. They have been dragged to issues they know nothing about, and they don't really get anything in return, just bad publicity. There's also the demons of success, reaching heights no one has ever experienced, and the public scrutiny and hate campaigns are ever present. It's massive, it's relentless, and it's never ever gonna go away. So these common experiences on a general level lived in lived in different generations made the song even more powerful for me, because it felt like those two verses, one first from Tablo and then from RM, it felt like a progression. It wasn't a repetition. Tablo's verse started the story and RM was the one who progressed it. So it's like watching a sped up autobiography of a tragic beginning and an even more tragic middle. Okay. Let me know if you have questions. Okay. So next is my the next observation is the curse of the gifted. So in the that verse of Tablo, my favorite verse is when he said, "They told me I was gifted, but to unwrap my mind was wicked." So there's something really, really haunting about that line, not just because of the word play, but because of the truth it contains. And a lot of people actually don't like the truth. So some minds are born vast, built not just to memorize, but to actually dismantle, to question, to reach places most people are too afraid to glance at. And Tablo is actually one of those minds. He's brilliant, not just in intelligence. I mean, brilliant not just academically, but he has depth. And that's exactly why he was doomed. So we think, like, when we see a gifted child, we love it, we celebrate it, we're happy, especially if that child is ours, until they say or do something that's uncomfortable, not necessarily bad, but just uncomfortable for us. When their brilliance reveals a truth that parents, teachers, institutions aren't ready to confront, we start not liking it. Suddenly, that same gift becomes a threat, curiosity becomes rebellion, insight becomes arrogance, and thought becomes sin. It's the paradox of the prophet child. You're handed a torch, then punished for the fire. So for Tablo, being gifted meant he was expected to shine. But the moment he began to explore the uncomfortable corners of his own brilliance, to unwrap his mind, it became wicked in the eyes of others. And so he was essentially raised not with celebration, but with guilt, with shame, and the rod, tools to control, tools that are used to make sure that a brilliant boy never became a dangerous man. And yet he did. He became a dangerous man. He became a brilliant man, but not dangerous in a way that they feared, but in a way truth always become is. Tableau spoke of grief, of identity, of alienation with clarity too rare for someone who wasn't supposed to survive the scrutiny. He was given the word, wisdom, expression, and weight, but no one gave him the time, the support, or the freedom to grow strong enough to carry him. Okay, next point. RM, the shadow that performs at night. So, my favorite verse, my favorite line on his entire verse is And every night I put my shadows on. But you know how much I hate my status quo. The idea that every night I put my shadows on when shadows only exists with light is actually a form, a literary form. It's a paradox and a metaphor. A paradox, first, it actually contains natural laws, right? Because shadows shouldn't appear in the dark. But that's the point. It emphasizes the unnatural weight he carries. And then it's also a metaphor because the shadows he was talking about are not literal here. They represent the darker parts of himself or the emotional weight of maintaining his public identity. The leader of Bangtan, the great lyricist, the rapper. And then within that is also symbolism. The shadow is a Jungian archetype, the repressed. I'm sure that you know that, the different archetypes of the Jung psychology. So the shadow is the repressed self, the part hidden from the world. And in RM's case, it's also hidden from himself. Arm's pain is more existential than external. So Tableau is more external, his is more existential. Um, Tableau was about control. People were trying to control him when he was a little kid. RM is performed. The world has already accepted RM's brilliant, but the world wants to preserve it in its amber. He is admired, he's revered, placed on a pedestal. But the thing about pedestal is that you're not allowed to move there or you're going to fall. So his metaphor is paradoxical. Shadows don't appear at night, they exist only when light exposes form. But RM is telling us he wants to put his shadows on as if wearing a costume, a dark costume, when he should be free of himself, because he's saying that he's doing it at night. So at night is when he should be free of himself, free of other people, but he chooses to don this mask of fame, the costume of expectation, the persona that satisfies the world, but slowly changes himself from himself. So his shadow becomes a double metaphor, both the darker parts of his psyche and the identity he's forced to inhabit. What's haunting is that even in solitude, and I think this is what really disturbed me. What haunting is that even in solitude, RM doesn't escape it. He's not haunted by others. He actually haunts himself. Because when fame becomes your identity, you no longer know who you are without it. And that's what happened to him. He was so confused. Okay, now, next, gift versus burden, light versus shadow. Now, the thing that unites Tableau and RM is not just the brilliance of their minds, but the isolation that brilliance brings. Tableau was feared for what his mind might become, but RM is trapped by what his mind has already achieved. So Tableau's growth was stunted by fear, but RM's growth is suffocated by his own legacy. Both are navigating a world where being smart isn't enough. You must be manageable, you must be marketable and muted. Brilliance becomes dangerous if it questions power, or useless if it can't be packaged for somebody to use. And both artists write that from space where thinking too much, feeling too deeply, and understanding too clearly becomes a quiet kind of exile. So, in to wrap up, I think this song is the tragedy of brilliance. This is what you will face. This is what your going story is. What your story is going to be if you are brilliant in this world. Tablo's verse was about people trying to control his growth, punishing the very mind that reached too far and too fast, and the mind that we usually celebrate when we find them in our kids or children. RM's verse, in contrast, is about people trying to preserve his image, trapping him in the version of himself they fell in love with, even if he has already outgrown it. So, where Tableau was told his thoughts were too dangerous to express, RM, on the other hand, is haunted by the pressure to keep performing brilliance on cue. His shadow isn't something that is casted naturally by daylight, it's something he chooses to put on even at night when no one should have to. And that is the tragedy of his story. So I guess in the end, Tablo and RM are not simply rappers and lyricists. They are cautionary tales, not because of what they've done, but because of what we've done to them. Okay? Not because of what they've done, but because of what we have done to them. We praise genius until it becomes inconvenient, and we love truth until it starts to hurt. And they show us that the tragedy of brilliance isn't in being misunderstood, it is actually in being consumed. To this day, to this moment, I still find it very hard to listen to the song. So um, I don't. I try to help as much as I can in streaming, but I'm streaming it in the phone that I don't listen to because it's just so hard for me. I felt it was so personal um to someone else. And so to a certain degree, because it's someone else's experience and they experience it in a long time ago already, it kind of felt like reading someone else's diary. It's very intrusive. Do you like it? And do you have questions about Tablo's story or what happened to him? I agree it's hard to listen. So you also, so I'm not alone. I thought I was like abnormal for feeling that way, but it was just, I just found it so hard to listen to it. I think not tragedy. I agree with Tablo. Hopeful. Hopeful. Okay. I know there is healing for both of them. They were dealt a heavy hand by people around them, and I think the way to stop the rain is forgive the ones who cursed your storm. I think so. I think they're over this phase. That's for sure. I think they're done with this. I think for Tablo for sure he's done with it, and I think RM is in a better place at the very least, if not totally over it. Um, it doesn't change the fact that it is too personal. That's why I said it feels like I'm reading somebody else's diary because it's the past. Like you put things on your diary and then the next day it's done. Like it's history. So that's exactly how it feels like. Like this is their past. This is their experience in the past. It's not necessarily how they felt now. Doesn't change the fact that it's still very personal. It sounds like this was very cathartic for them. Probably, yeah. Very cathartic. I mean, for Tablo, he has addressed that issue that happened to him several times already. Um, he's talked about it several times as well. But I think one thing that people miss is the fact that that affected the rest of his life. Like he would have been bigger by now had it not been for that thing. It really stunted his growth. He couldn't do anything, he couldn't appear, he couldn't do concerts, he couldn't release a single. It, you know how Korea is. So he had to let all of those things pass before he can actually do anything. But by the time that he is doing something, he's past his prime. Right? So it really stunted his growth. I thought that so he joined YG, and I to this day I feel like that was the worst like period of his career. What is the 27 Club? 27 Club, it's this fictional club of people who lose their lives at 27, usually by taking their own lives. So a lot of like people with great potential, if not already great, would take their own life at 27 so years old. And so they call it the 27 Club. So he was saying that he thought he was going to that do that. Um, Tablo said that this song was like a personal diary of Jun, hence he waited for Namjoon to give his explicit consent. There's the word again, consent. You know how Korea is so sad. Fictional makes it sound lighthearted, not fiction. What you're saying about it stunting his career? And while we are on the eve of RM's returning, this is perfect time to release it. Correct. I think it was also perfect time to release it. Um, there's this song is a revelation to a lot of people. I think uh the way things turned out, just okay. So I respect the song. As I've said, I find it very, very hard to listen to it. I've already explained why. Um, to a certain degree, though, I thought it was going to do better than it did. I understand there's not a lot of promotion or whatever, but I thought like after anyway, I was just disappointed. I thought we could have done better. Did anybody get punished for what they did to Tableau? No, no one. No one got punished. They did not. They never discovered who those three people were that started that blog, that forum. No, it wasn't a blog, but it was a forum. No, no one discovered. The world is becoming like Korea. The cancel culture is so extreme. Yeah, just let's go one theme back. A lot of famous celebrities have passed away at 27, usually from overdoses. Okay, coming in late, Hobie was hurt during a sound check too, correct? He was, yes. Fire butterflies, spare the rod, spoil the child. My mom still says it, and we have to make her understand that's not what we're doing in this generation. It's not love. I'm very, very thankful for how my parents raised me. My dad never raised a hand on me. My mom did, so I did get punished. I think the most severe was so the rod is pretty common, slippers, whatever she gets her hands on. And then I think the most severe would be, I think I was made to kneel on beans. So many Asians still do it. In all the documents about BTS, I've never seen much info about RM growing up. I know he was in an underground rapper, but that's it so far. He's actually talked about his childhood a little. Um, so yeah, he was he's a top student. He didn't really have, although even if he was a top student, he didn't have a lot of dreams. And so he just told his parents that he wanted to be a rapper. At first, his parents were against it until I think it was his 14th birthday or 13th birthday that his mom came home with a microphone. And that was his birthday. That was her birthday gift to him, and said, okay, now pursue your dreams. And it was like it was her giving her blessings to RM to pursue music. I think he had a pretty good childhood, meaning he was loved, you know. Oh my god, my mom had to kneel on uncooked rice. Uncooked rice, that beans, all sorts of stuff. I definitely got switched. I definitely got switched. Hated picking my own switched off the bush. Switched? What switched? You mean switched at birth? Less a fictional club, more an informal club one would hope never to be a part of. Yeah, I mean fictional meaning the club. There is this people that passed away at 27 never formed the club. Just wanted to, they just wanted to make that clear. It was the media that dubbed it the 27 club because they are either already celebrities or about to become celebrities when they passed away at 27. The second time I severely sobbed after amygdala. It's like I'm playing with fire. Yeah, I know. I just for me it was just so hard to listen to. I stream to help on streaming, but I stream it on the other phone that's far from me and that I don't use. So I told you I have three accounts, right? Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Tidal. And so I'm using it on Tidal, which is something I don't usually like. It's just on the side, just so I can help in streaming. Yeah. By the way, did you all a switch is a thin flexible stick used as punishment. A switch. Okay. Okay, now I get it. When you first said switch, I said switch at birth, and then I thought switch the game console. Okay, I see a lot of people in the comments have experienced the switch. For Hoba and RM trying not to cry now. And it was Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison that are referred to as the 27 Club. My mom can't never catch me. I was always playing sports but got yelled for being late for dinner. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm trying my best to intervene on my niece's behalf because she's always in trouble. For me, the overwhelming sense of amygdala was one of hope. Fairlane, we need a V and JK palette cleanser. Also Kurt Cobain. Also Kurt Cobain, correct. I got hit by my dad all the time because I was opinionated. It's very common in Filipino in among Asians. So I'm not bothered by it. I mean, I think I would have been a worse person if I didn't get hit. So I'm very thankful with the way she raised me. I never hit my niece. I never did that. But that's because she's such a good kid. So um I never really had to, I guess. I don't know if I would have if I felt I had to. But yeah, I don't I have nothing against how my parents raised. I love how they raised me. I think they raised me right. So emotional support picture. Emotional support picture. Wait. The last time you guys asked for emotional support picture, someone scolded me for showing like pictures of Sugar's tongue. So no tongue pictures, I guess. No tongue pictures. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How about chest pictures? Do you want chest pictures? I'm gonna get scolded again. People are gonna say, "Oh, wait, you're sexualizing them." I actually post a lot of pictures on Patreon. Yeah. Oh, do you want like a close up of his a close up of his stats? Copy. Okay. Let's put it here. Do you want a close up of his stats? Okay. Let's see. Sugar with long hair pictures. This is the tattoo of, do you see a close up of his stats? Who likes his tattoos? Do you like his tattoo? I have so many pictures. It's gonna take me like forever to search for a specific one. Sugar. Let's go for sugar. JK and sugar abs. I do have pictures of sugar's abs. Okay. What are you asking for? Oh, this one I'm sure a lot of you like. I have the video of this. I just need to find where it is. Sugar, right? You wanted sugar? Okay. How about there's 7 tattoos? Okay. I have that too. It's just that I have so many pictures. I have to like look for it. There. This is one of my favorite pictures of him. Ah, here. Oh, wait. It's too dark. I have one more topic. Oh, this is the front. Okay. So that's the back. And then here is the front. Who else is wondering if these beautiful clothes he had worn fit him anymore? That's the front. Huh? That's the back. And here's the front. You see the back and the front. I thought you wanted to discuss Scooter Braun. I show you one picture and you forget about Scooter Braun. I saw a shirtless picture of Sugar. Ah, here. Another Sugar. Him showing his tattoo. His seventh tattoo. Oh, wait. Show V. Okay. There's his tattoo. Okay, so let's see. I have so many pictures. Why don't you message me with your request? What pictures you want to see next? Because it's like if I go through it live, we're not gonna. I don't want to. Okay, don't request for his pictures, like his soldier pictures, because like didn't consent to showing that, so I don't want to show it. Jin's, I love the seven tattoo. Yeah, see that he was working out. My sugar screensaver, the front, the back is cool too, though. Yeah, there you go. The back and the front. And there's your tattoo, Jungkook's tattoo. Remember the surgeon who did Suga's shoulder surgery? He was so nervous and terrified if he messed up, he'd lose his career. He acted so annoyed. Jin's beer back. He's flexing. Okay, why don't you send me like DM me your request what pictures you want to see? Because if I go through it here live, we're not gonna get to my last topic. What time is it? It's 27. Okay, let's go through. Can you imagine being in that position? Let's go through Justin Bieber as a sugar bias. Thank you. I have a lot of sugar pictures. And I also have a lot that it's like tucked away somewhere. Where's that? I have a lot. I told you I've filled so 1 2 terabyte and 1 3 terabytes just of their pictures. So if you're a member of my Patreon, I'm actually starting to upload some of their pictures. I think I've uploaded like behind the scenes pictures. I think I've uploaded, what have I uploaded? I think I've uploaded Bon Voyage already. I'm done with Bon Voyage. And then I'm uploading Run BTS. So I upload twice. And then I'm also starting to upload some of the books that I'm giving people, like the Patreon community, as a copy of the books that they've recommended. So in the next weeks, you're going to be getting the books again. I know that I'm supposed to be giving one book for Platinum and two books for Diamond monthly. It's just that I stopped, and then Legacy also gets to. I just stopped for a while just because I got so busy, but it's back, so I'm going to be careful, Fairlane. Your lives are gonna get censored. With what? Why am I gonna get censored? Because of Justin Bieber? Makes me nervous thinking about it. Why will I get censored, Donita? We got to show V some love. One pic makes me dreamy sigh, and the other makes my heart go crazy. Oh, so I'm going to go back to giving copies of the books. So expect that. V has been Celeste. Good night, Celeste. Let's listen to Fairy Lane. We are all we all are sugar stars. Drop Justin Bieber. Justin was messed up by Didi more than Scooter. The trial starts next week. Okay, so just I'm gonna give you a summary of what Brett Cooper um, presented in her channel. So Brett Cooper is a former child star, and she's now an influencer. She's actually a known conservative, but she's kind of shifting to covering different topics, wide variety of topics now. She left Daily Wire and she's now on her own. She's doing her own thing. So um, okay. So before I start, I'm going to give you like a summary of what she disclosed. But just always remember that this everything is allegedly, because number one, I don't have direct contact with her sources. Though she got this story from her sources, and she's saying, however, that these sources have direct are actually people working with Justin Bieber now. Uh okay, so she's actually however, the reason they are the ones that are talking and not Justin directly is because of contracts. So when you are going through certain legal procedures or you're in the middle of a lawsuit or whatever, you usually have a gag order, meaning you can't talk about the case or whatever. So what's happening is to get his story out. It's actually the people around him that are talking. And so Brett Cooper said that the things that she presented actually came from people that are directly working with Justin Bieber now. Okay, so everything is allegedly. All right. Now, what she started with this premise that Justin Bieber wanted to break away from the contract that she signed when she was still sorry, that he signed when he was still 10 years old. So he has been managed by Scooter Braun, by the same guy since he was 10 until recently. Now, recently, he wanted to break away from that contract. Okay, so that's her premise. Okay, so in this effort to try and start establishing his career, re-establishing his career and whatever, he employed Lou Taylor upon the recommendation of Scooter Braun. Okay, this is according to her, to Brett Cooper. Now, Lou Taylor has quite a portfolio outside of Justin Bieber. She has also managed um, Britney Spears, among other celebrities. So she's pretty well established in the Hollywood circle. Okay. So it was Scooter Braun who sort of brokered this deal for Lou Taylor to be the business manager of Justin Bieber. Now, back in 2010, Justin Bieber actually 2010 to 2008 and 2010 or something like that, 2008 to 2011, Justin Bieber launched two tours. One is the what's the name of that tour? Purpose, and then the other is what was that? So there were two tours that he did. One is Purpose, and then the problem was that even before the tour started, he started getting some medical issues. He was using drugs. Okay, he still is using drugs, it seems. So when the tour started, he half of his face got paralyzed outside of getting Lyme disease, which made it impossible for him to perform. And so Brett Cooper explained that had they canceled the entire tour, there is an insurance that would cover everything, meaning they would just pay off the suppliers, the venues and all of those stuff, return the money of the ticket holders and whatever those have, the insurance company will actually cover that. But that is not what happened. What happened was that Justin Bieber would appear on some shows, not appear in some shows, appear in some shows, not appear in some shows. And so Red Cooper is kind of positioning it as if someone was actually forcing Justin Bieber to do this. That's what she's saying. Whether or not it's true, I don't know, but that's what she's saying. That it was she's implying that it was the management company of Justin Bieber that was forcing Justin Bieber to actually fulfill his contract or try to appear in as many shows as they could. Now, it was obvious he was not well. So he had this paralysis in his face, he had Lyme disease and whatever, and it was showing him in his performance. So there were performances when he couldn't even finish the show, and it was obvious that even in the shows where he would do it end to end, he was still not performing at the level that they are used to. Now, the consequence is that if because of that, because he didn't cancel the shows entirely, he incurred debt, meaning the insurance companies didn't pay the suppliers anymore because he was able to perform. The insurance company will only step in if he wasn't going to perform at all, if they would have canceled the tour from the beginning. So again, Brett Cooper was implying that it was the management company of Justin Bieber, primarily Scooter Braun, who was forcing Justin Bieber to perform. Okay, so that happened. So he incurred millions and millions of dollars. Now, Brett Cooper also stated that what she found out is that even if he actually finished the tour, he still wouldn't have earned any money. She didn't explain how that happened, because usually touring is where the celebrity or the singer or the act actually gets most of their income. But she said in this contract, because of the way it was actually the way it was written up, it will not give Justin Bieber any kind of income. On the other hand, his management company still would earn, because they would earn from the money up top, meaning the deposits and all of that, those goes to the management company, those go to the management company, and then Justin is supposed to earn from ticket sales and whatever. Okay. All right, so that's settled. So now what happened was, because he was in too much debt, Justin Bieber, through Lou Taylor and a lawyer, Rosenberg something, who is actually a new lawyer but has quite a number of celebrity clients as well, brokered a deal to sell his entire catalog. Okay, so he would sell his entire catalog, 250 million. 250 million. So again, this is Lou Taylor brokering the deal. And so Justin sold his lifetime's work just to pay off his debts, the debts that he incurred because he did not cancel his tour entirely. So they sold it 250 million. Lo and behold, he still had debts. So it actually didn't solve the problem. Justin decided to sell all of his entire life's work just to pay off his debt. Apparently, that did not solve the problem. He was still in debt. Okay. So Lou told Justin Bieber that Scooter was going to pay off his debt. Okay. So Lou said, "Don't worry, Scooter got your back. He's going to pay off your debt." The minute she said that, I was like, nobody is going to pay off somebody's debt and not get anything in return. That is impossible. We're talking millions here. We're not talking 5,000. We're not talking 20,000. We're not even talking 1 million. We're talking multi-million, probably upwards of 50 million that he owes. Nobody in their right mind, no matter a billionaire, now, no matter the amount of money you have, is going to write a check, give it to somebody, and say, okay, that's it, done. That is not going to happen. So I thought the minute that you said that, no, there's Scooter Braun is going to get something out of it. And true enough, apparently the Scooter Braun paid it, but it was a debt, meaning Justin Bieber still had to pay Scooter Braun. And according to Brett Cooper, Justin Bieber did not know that the payment that Scooter Braun made in his behalf was actually a debt. And I was like, that's stupid. He would have known. He's not, this is not his first rodeo. He would have known all of this. So Okay, so now what is happening is that um, Justin Bieber is trying to break free. What Brett Cooper is claiming is that he is still under contract with Scooter Braun, and he's trying to break free from that contract, but he couldn't because he's in debt. He has to pay Scooter Braun, and second, because of the way the contract is structured. Okay, I kind of know what she's talking about. In the contracts of if you're going to go into a management company, there is what they call the sunset deal, the sunset clause. If you watched my interview with the entertainment lawyer, he discussed what a sunset clause is. Essentially, that is sunset clause, meaning they will get a portion of your earnings. So, for example, I get managed by just this is just an example. I get managed by Scooter Braun. Whatever I do in my career, if I make a merchandise, publish a book, shoot a movie, whatever that may be, any kind of business or anything that will earn me money, they will get a percentage until the sun sets. Now, it is called the sunset deal because it is supposed to go down. The percentage of their commission is supposed to go down as time goes on. However, according to the explanation of that lawyer, if you haven't watched it, please do because it's one of the best interviews I have ever done and you will learn a lot. His explanation is that there are, it's not always the same in terms of how long it will take before the sun sets. Sometimes the sun sets never. Sometimes it sets after 100 years. Sometimes the sun sets after 5 years. So, most likely, because Scooter Braun is smart, that sunset deal is lifetime or 100 years, 75, 50, doesn't matter, but it's there for a long time. So, I think this is just pure speculation. That is actually what she was talking about. Justin Bieber wants to break free from that contract. He's trying to get out of that sunset deal. Okay, that's one. Second is that I find it very, very hard to believe that Justin Bieber would think that Scooter Braun, no matter how tight they have been in the past, will just pay off millions of dollars and not have any money back. He would have known that is a debt. I really find it hard to believe. Even to my closest friends who I would give my life for, I will not expect them to give me $50 million, for example. So, but I think that's part of what he's trying to break free from. And maybe Scooter Braun is trying to get paid. All of this, just my speculation. So what she is pointing out, what Brett Cooper is pointing out, is all of these things that you're seeing with Justin Bieber isn't just because he's in drugs. He probably is, most likely is, 99% is, based on what you see, how he behaves, especially that video, although it's unfair to just judge people from one video. Anyway, so I think what she is trying to say is that this behavior is not just because he is on drugs. He is on drugs as a result of all the pressures that he is experiencing. Remember, this is lifetime of his work. He sold so that he can pay off a debt because he did not cancel the tour. Now, he can't break away. So someone paid that debt, but then he's still in debt. So I think that's what she's trying to point out, that when you see a video of Justin Bieber, remember, he's not on drugs just because he wants to do drugs. He's on drugs because he's going through a lot of pressure. And then there is this, she's saying that Scooter Braun and his company is actually launching a PR campaign, a smear campaign against Justin Bieber by having him followed by paparazzi, by reporters, by taking videos and pictures of him and distributing it when he is clearly not himself and stuff like that. Because the same PR company that HYBE owns, the same PR company that went after Justin Baldoni, and the same PR company that went after Amber Heard, that's the same PR company that is owned by HYBE America. And well, HYBE actually. So that is the story with Scooter Braun. Now, a lot of people and Justin Bieber. Now, just a reminder, there is always two sides of the story, and almost always it's somewhere, the truth is somewhere in between. I think i think Scooter Braun is not going to risk it. He's not going to talk because he probably has more to lose here because it's his money on the bank, right? He paid that debt. He wants to get paid. He paid that debt in behalf of Justin Bieber, so he's probably thinking, "I need that money back. If I violate any part of the contract, Justin Bieber can actually use that against me." Just speculation. So I don't think he's going to talk. He's going to wait until the court makes a decision and then he's going to talk, or maybe never talk again, just out of respect for what he and Justin Bieber has built together. Okay. Then the other thing is, a lot of people are worried, like, did Hybe actually partner with the wrong person? I have no freaking idea. As far as I know, he's just as bad as, or as good, and or as good as any other executive in Hollywood. Take it as you want to take it, but that's the truth. Nobody is an angel in Hollywood. You want to work in Hollywood, you want to get into the US market, you're going to have to work with these people regardless. But I don't think it is fair for BTS for us to doubt their skills to handle their own business. At this rate, we all know that that freaking contract that they signed with Big Hit is monumental. It has that I have never seen the contract, by the way. This is all just rumors. But I based on those rumors, I have never heard of any contract structure the way their contract is structured. They are fine. They are untouchable. The Big Hit company is private, and I am fully convinced down the line they will have the power to do with that company whatever it is that they want to do. So we should not worry about Scooter Braun. These are seven brilliant men who has gotten to where they are now, not because of anything else, but because they are brilliant, they are talented, they are hardworking, and they are smart. Okay. Now, as I've said, do we hate Scooter Braun? I don't freaking give a damn about him. I don't care about him. He is in Hybe America. When BTS does business and promotes in Hybe America, there he's going to be involved. So this is the only thing I want him to do. I want him to work for BTS. I want him to give BTS the best type of promotion, the best types of partnership, the best types of deal. If he does that, I don't give a damn about what he does with whatever business he has with other artists. That's it. That's the story of Scooter Braun and Justin Bieber. Do you have questions? Does Justin even want to do music anymore? Anyone passionate about music will make music no matter what, right? He probably thinks that at this stage, maybe you're right, or maybe he thinks that if I make music, then somebody else is going to benefit from it. So he's not making music. Two sides of the story. The other thing is that no matter what it is, like the truth behind it, no matter what it is, he's definitely troubled. He does have a young kid and a wife, and so I wish that things will get settled because his kid needs him. That kid needs a happy, healthy father as much as a happy and healthy mother. So I hope this gets resolved really soon, so that he does not miss the childhood of his child. Um, wow, you're not giving the complete story, not including how Scooter is a dirty manager and his dealing with his clients. Shame on you. Do you know anything about Scooter Braun? Please go ahead and share. All JK made that obvious. They have always chosen who they work with. Exactly. So I don't. I absolutely. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this Scooter Braun." That I really don't. I'm not interested in this guy. I'm just interested in the way that he does marketing. Obviously, he was able to make a hit out of Gangnam Style, all the other songs that he actually backed. So I am interested in the way that he does marketing. Other than that, I really don't care. The only issue is that the only thing I want him to do, as I've already said, is for him to do his best when it is BTS's promotions in the US. I want him to be able to give BTS the best deals, the best partners, the best type of exposure, all of those things. He does that, I'm all cool. Fairly, you're the one who's getting distracted by the pictures, not us. Okay, birds of the same feather flock together. I wish they would sever ties. Only time will tell how this HYBE America decision plays out, but I have a bad feeling. Not a fan of Scooter Braun, just want our Bangtan guys to be careful when dealing with him. I am sure they will be very, very careful. Scooter was the price of acquiring Ithaca, but I don't think he controls much that HYBE doesn't let him do. The one thing that many speculate about is the fact that when they acquired Ithaca, it was supposed to include his roster of talents, and so that was supposed to include Demi, um, Ariana, and of course Justin Bieber, all of whom actually separated from Scooter Braun already. Now, some people are saying that no, it does not include the talents, his personal talents, because it's separate. Like the talents under Ithaca is one thing, and the talents under him as a manager is different, because these people he actually took care of even like for a long time. So even before he had Ithaca. So I don't know the truth behind that. But yeah, okay. Uh, let's see. There is this one commenter who keeps on. Just say your story. Go ahead, type it. I will put it on screen. Um, see here. He promotes BTS then hurts them. Are you going to be okay for just wanting his promotion skills? Why will he hurt them? That's one. Why will he hurt them? Second is, why will BTS allow themselves to be hurt by Scooter Braun? And third, why will Bang Shiuk allow BTS to get hurt? So I don't know where that he promotes BTS and then hurts them. I don't know where the hurt. I don't even know if he's going to be tapped for the promotion of BTS. We're just assuming this. So I don't know if that is the road that BTS wants to take. I mean, if there's anything we know about BTS by now is that they are unpredictable and they're always ahead of the rest. So everyone is trying to break into the American market. I don't know what they're going to do, but they might want to break into the Mars market. I don't know. So, um, why was the valuation so high? It didn't make sense. There's a lot we don't I don't know the answer to your question. I did not see. I'm sorry, but I all I know are rumors. I have absolutely no proof, and I have to be careful because these are US companies and I am a resident of the US. I'm a citizen of America. They can go after me. So I have to be very careful on what I say. So this I will say, I don't know the answer to your question for sure. I hear rumors as to why the valuation was so high. But a lot you do need to think about it this way. If, for example, Bang Shiok chooses not to partner with somebody with existing network in the US, he would probably be spending as much money trying to establish those networks and those partnerships and still take 10, 20 years to be able to do all of those things. And so it's not just the actual network that you're paying for, but the time, right? Because you bought time essentially. I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I am making sense. So Bang Shiyuk says here that valuation is too high. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to establish my own network. Let's just say. For him to do that, that's going to take years and years of networking, establishing relations, calling people, going to parties, paying people, blah, blah, blah. So he will most likely spend as much money and still take 10 years or 15 years to do it, as opposed to here is already someone with the existing network and he can just transfer it to me. So you essentially bought 10 years of time outside of the network that you're already buying. um he's a snake, and you know what they say about snakes. P Vicky, if you want to have an intelligent conversation, we will get to nowhere here. Be respectful. I don't see her. I I think she's only visible to you guys. Okay. So Vicky, what is that name? Bastida. If you have a piece, if you want to say something, type it. I'm just going to put it on the screen. You seem to know more, so go ahead. You're free to talk. Everyone is free to talk here, so just go ahead and type. I'll be here for another at least 6 minutes, so plenty of time for you to type. Danji, Scooter was respected, made good and bad business decisions and management decisions, and is living his first life like anyone else. Taylor Swift made him a demon. I've made, I think I've already stated my stance in the Taylor Swift versus Scooter Braun thing. I think both of them are brilliant business people and they played the hand that they were dealt with. I know a lot of people thought that Taylor Swift, or at least some people thought Taylor Swift used um, public opinion against against Scooter Braun. Scooter Braun used his contact to be able to resell the catalog, which was pretty brilliant, by the way. They were in the middle of he was in the middle of this PR nightmare, and he was still able to sell the catalog and made money out of it. But to me, it was two brilliant entrepreneurs using the resources they had in order to get what they want. That's how I view it. And both of them actually ended up winning in the end because Scooter Braun was able to resell the catalog to somebody else. He made like 250 million out of it, or maybe even 350. And then Taylor Swift was able to re-record all of her catalog, all of her songs, and is now earning money from it. So I thought it was a win-win. It's not a good like experience for both, but from business perspective, they got what they wanted. We don't want another MHJ problem coming up. Definitely not. It would kill Scooter if he did any damage. The men are not babies. They are not. They are experienced and protected. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The contracts, as I've said, the contracts of like Ariana, for example, Ariana, Justin Bieber, their contracts are with Scooter Braun, but BTS's contract is with Big Hit, and they co-own HYBE, and Big Hit is also a private company. So we're just gonna have to trust the boys, the kids, the men, BTS, that they know what they are doing. I fully trust them. I know how brilliant they are. Many of them have master's degrees. All of them are college graduates. So they know they made an effort to actually finish college and take up master's degrees so that they know more about the business. They took 5 years or 3 years before they separated their voting rights from Bang Shiok, just so they could know more about the business. So they know what they're doing. They know what they know, and they know how to get the knowledge that they need in order to operate. So I'm not really worried about that. Okay, I'm going to okay. We are not here to talk about SB or JB, only BTS. Correct. We may trust our guys, but we're still going to protect them. Of course. Of course. And Scooter Braun has no direct control over BTS. If anything, they own him. Correct. Absolutely correct. I fully trust BTS. And then the other thing is the advantage that BTS has is by the time that they got into the American market, they're very they're whole already, like their personalities whole. They're very successful already. They got what they wanted, as opposed to, like, for example, Justin Bieber. When Scooter Braun discovered him, he was a baby. He didn't know anything about the industry. He was just trying to break into to establish his own career. So he was just signing away things. When he was told to sign, he signed. BTS already knows. Like, when before I'm pretty sure they have their own lawyers. So before they sign anything, this gets reviewed. They make sure that they're not getting nicked, that no one's taking advantage of them, because they're already at that age when they know what they're doing. Okay. Taylor's father knew what he was doing. She was not flying solo. She had her father, yet she played the innocent card. Yeah, I understand that, but again, just want to emphasize from my point of view, and no one is required to take this point of view. From my point of view, both Scooter and Taylor Swift played the card that they were dealt with. And I think in the end they won. Scooter Braun made like 250 million, 350 million out of the catalog, and he was able to sell it while he was in the middle of this firestorm, PR firestorm. And in the end, Taylor Swift was able to re-record all of her recordings, all of her songs, and she's now making money out of it. So I think it was they played it. They played it well. I think it is a masterclass in business strategy, I guess. Taylor Swift dad made 15 million. I thought it was 30. It could have been 50. I could be wrong. But yes. So in that deal, when they sold, when the catalog was sold to Scooter Braun, the father of Taylor Swift made 30, well, 15 million, she's saying. I thought it was 30. Maybe I'm wrong. But yes, the father made money. Don't forget to like. Yes, don't forget to like the video. Okay, so I guess that person didn't type out what she wanted to say. We are on our second hour. Please, anyone trained by Big Hit PD Nim from Ron BTS can withstand anyone. That is why do I keep on forgetting? Does anybody have a chance against Jin? Come on now. Come on. You cannot, even if you have 10 scooter bronze, you do not stand a chance against Jin. This is Jin we're talking about. You're not going to outsmart him. Come on now. So, yeah, I'm very, very confident. I'm not even the least bit worried about him or what he can do with BTS. Not, he won't be able to do that. I think BTS will decide for themselves what kind of promotion they want, how they want to get promoted. I am absolutely sure of it. Right now, I'm just very excited for June, for the ending of the military service of the five. I want to see them together. And the only thing I am very, very focused on is manifesting that Weverse does not crash when they do their first OT7 Weverse live. That's the only thing. We all have to come together and send and actually like send Weverse all our good juju to make sure that it does not crash when they do a live together. Okay. This chat is unusual this evening. I think there are a few buttons being pushed. It is difficult subject Fairlane choose to speak on respect. Okay. Other snakes and monsters in the US entertainment industry. There's a lot of snakes there. A lot. One day Jin hit will be real. I know it. What interview was talking about Scooter and Justin? Can I get a link? Yes. Oh, actually, if you search Brett Cooper, Justin Bieber, part 2. So search for Brett Cooper, Justin Bieber, part 2. Okay, I'll paste it here. 1 second. Um Wookie here. Here. There. That's her YouTube channel. She spoke on that in length. It was way more detailed than I did. So I kind of just covered the major points primarily because I'm not here to talk, just like what you said, I'm not here to talk about Justin Bieber. It's about Asian entertainment and mostly BTS. So I didn't really go into much details, but that is the link if you want to watch him. Watch her. Sorry. I searched. She worked for PragerU. No thanks. She's a conservative. Yes, she's a known conservative. Thank you for sharing. I really didn't know what was going on with Justin's situation, if at all. For I'm for humanity, for our humanity. Let's also send good juju towards Justin Bieber's way because he is a father, he has a kid, that kid needs him healthy and happy and functioning. So I hope that everything gets resolved more than anything for the kid. That's what I'm really hoping for. So I hope at the very least we can include him in our, when we manifest things, depending on your faith. If you pray or meditate or manifest things, please include Justin Bieber because he definitely is not well based on what we're seeing. So yeah. Oh, her? I don't like her videos. Okay, so you don't have to watch all of her videos. If you're curious about like the complete story of what she laid out about Justin Bieber, then you can watch that specific video. Okay, Brett Cooper is not a nice person. I don't know her personally, so I can't say that for sure. RW equals extreme right wing. Okay. Lyme disease is no joke either. So I think he's done with that. Like he's okay with that. The source is important. The source is important, correct. Um, Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. As a closing, I would like to offer the back of Sugar. Whereas Debak is on my bed and he's eating. He has no interest showing himself tonight. And this is the front of Sugar. Um, and then this is the tats of Jungkook. And this is the seventh tattoo of Sugar. So I am sending you off with good vibes. Here's Sugar again. How is RM charting on AMAs? I've okay. I can never see his oh, he's dealt clearly with taint tattoos. Fairlane, you have the best of. Okay, so next time, tell me what picture you want to see so I can prepare it beforehand because it's so hard to go through my collection. There's so a lot. Okay, all right, bye, people. Thank you. So see you Wednesday. See you Wednesday. Bye. Sweet dreams are made of this. Do you want a back or the tattoo or the tattoo again or his face or the back?